All right, so we're going to talk about vision today, and the key thing I want you to think about is that if we're going through these steps kind of sequentially, and we're still kind of working on the foundation, but vision is kind of where the foundation of the house starts to meet the walls and the floor that's going to sit on top of it. Um, your vision, and these are kind of my working definitions. Your vision is basically how you're going to accomplish your mission. So it's kind of how your business serves your mission, and we have vision for your business, we have vision for your life. Hopefully the two are quite integrated and working together in tandem. If your mission is kind of the destination, then your vision is, and these are keywords, a future snapshot of how you're going to get there, right? What your business and your life is going to look like as you work towards your mission. um, your vision is basically how your business and your life are going to evolve as you progress toward your mission. Um, I think you can definitely use and should be using something like your 4 quadrants to lay out kind of your vision benchmarks. So, for instance, I just mentioned my wife and I are getting into some real estate. That has a lot to do with our vision for our life and the flexibility we want to have, and being able to, for her to take a sabbatical and be with our daughter if she wants, and to have that sort of flexibility in terms of income and time and building generational wealth and things like that, and having different places where we can go as a family by using these properties when we want to. So everything fits into vision, right? And at the end of the day, you want to sit and just daydream about, if your business went really freaking well and your business became the business of your dreams, what does that look like? And how will you know when you've gotten there? Maybe you're already feeling really close to that right now. You should also look backwards a little bit and think, 5 years ago, what was my vision or my dream, right? Or maybe when I was at my agency job or whatever, where does my mind go when I just daydream, right? Or my wife and I, a lot of times when we're out to lunch or something, we daydream a lot and we just think, what if, right? And so we had what ifs around this cabin in Virginia. And what if we had this place that's a few hours from my family? It's right near DC. It's a place we could go a few times a year, take my daughter, have her connect with where I'm from, and have some land there to explore and have fun with, have business retreats there, stuff like that. So some of your vision might come from just allowing yourself to daydream and think, what if, right? Or just imagine if. I think it's really fun to do that, and you might as well. And a lot of times some of your kind of unconscious desires, have a lot to do with what you actually want when you let yourself go there, versus telling yourself all the reasons why this might not work, or it might be really hard, or it might be too much work, right? Or maybe someone's already done it, and we are really good at talking ourselves out of our dreams too. It's kind of like kids. I think kids are incredible in that kids, or even some millennials or Gen Zers, for instance, they still have dreams. It's like I talk to college students sometimes, and like they still believe they're going to change the world and have a radical life, and do all the things. And there's something about that that's pretty cool, right? And then I have personally a lot of people in my life, or some really unhappy friends that have, just been grinding along at some tech company without real purpose or meaning in their life, or just a means to an end. And success is just, maxing out my 401k, and then hoping that, I don't die before I retire. That's not much of a dream to me. So, you guys, we all have unique opportunities and freedom as business owners. You have a responsibility as business owners, but along with that, you have a real freedom and an opportunity to live a life that's unique to you, that does not involve working 60 hours a week, unless that's part of your vision. So again, like we've talked a lot about intentionality here. So again, if working 6 hours a week, if seeing 30 clients a week is part of your vision, go for it. As long as you can sell me on that and say, this was strategically designed. This was intentionally designed for my life, my business. My partner signed off on it, right? My friends can see that I'm healthy and thriving. Great. If you can sell me on that, right? But you have to be able to have intention. So what I don't want is for any of you to end up as this kind of accidental business owner, or with a business that was made and kind of stumbled into with a lot of accident and a lot of like, oh, I don't know, it just happened, or I want to make more money just because I think, it's fun, or I heard some other group practice owners doing 500,000. Who cares? that stuff is going to lead you so far astray. I can't even tell you. And I've gotten caught up in that, over the years, the comparing and the what if and keeping up with the Joneses. It just doesn't matter. You have to have your own working definition of success for you and your family and your life and your purpose. And you need to measure yourself against that and that only, and block out the noise. I feel quite strongly about that, clearly. It's my soapbox for today. Some questions to work on your vision, and then I'll share this in the chat. You just kind of write down your vision as best you can, how you're going to accomplish your mission. So some questions to ask yourself. One would be, who will you serve? How will you help them? How will you help more people like them? My wife works in tech and she interviews a lot of people. And we were talking about this question last night of like that whole interview question of like, tell me about yourself. How do you answer that? She gets pretty good at having kind of an elevator pitch for what she does, right? So I'm a learning and development specialist that helps companies create culturally sensitive and inclusive workplace cultures or whatever. Who I am, who I help, how I help them. So you should think about that for yourself as well. Most of you probably don't have any job interviews coming up unless you're looking to jump ship or who knows, have a side hustle. But if you did, right, what would that one-liner be? Who are you? What do you do? Who do you help? How do you help them? This is a big one again. How will you measure success? If you are successful, how will you know it? How much money are you going to make and how many hours a week is it going to take you? How will you know, again, if you're successful, if you have kind of arrived, so to speak? This is a big nuanced question, and I'll turn it over here to you guys in a second, but definitely something I want to hear a lot about. I'll put the link here in the chat. I've got a lot of other questions that is really, again, going to help you get to the bottom of the future you. Who are you and who are you becoming, 1, 2, 5, 10 years from now? What is your business going to look like? What's the future of your business? Visioning out your perfect day. So sometimes it can get too big to think about the big picture of your business or your 5-year plan or whatever. So boil it down to a day or a day you've had recently that was pretty darn close to a great day or a near perfect day. What did you do to create that? What was that day like? That day where if you're sitting down with your partner at the end of the day and it's like, yeah, I had a really good day. Oh, it was a great day, actually. Oh, it was a perfect day. What happened that day? Create more days like that, right? So that can be an easier access to this stuff, as well as zooming way out, working the vision. But if you don't have vision, you're going to end up somewhere really random. And, also, again, I'm not super new agey on this stuff, but who knows if there is some element out there of manifesting or casting your vision, right? Or having a vision board, like that stuff I used to think was pretty cheesy, but I actually think it's really valuable now. If for nothing else, then when I have my goals and my 4 quadrants up on a dry erase board every single day and I stare at it and put it in front of my face, I align my behaviors unconsciously to make those things happen, right? When they are constantly in front of my face. So I'm subtly shifting what I do and what I focus on and things I say yes or no to, etc. If I'm constantly kind of glued to that vision and aligning myself to that vision. So I'll hit pause on the recording here and we'll open it up for conversation.